Yo, yo, yo! Guess who's back with a brand new rap? And I don't mean rap as in a new case of child investigating accusate. Hello, if you're new to the channel, my name is Mihai, and I'll try to make you better at chess. Let's go! I'm 2500 online as a chess rating. Let's look at this game. So we have this position, and we will wonder how did we get here. I'm playing against the 2400. You can see that I'm doing it very fast. You know, adrenaline kicks in, maybe some cocaine. I didn't find any today. Anyway, so checkmate, right? So I have a checkmate. If I'm with white to move, don't do this, by the way, because then black will have a checkmate. So how did we get here? Let's see the game, okay? This is where the game starts. Pawn to e4, pawn to c5, the Sicilian. Knight to f3 as you should play. You bring up your horse because you want to ride, okay? And let's go for a spin. Buckle up, guys, and let's go. This is all standard, and this is where the fun begins. This is Fischer's weapon, old weapon. If you don't know who Fischer is, you're shameful. You know, I'm ashamed of you. So just type it in the Google Robert James Fischer. Pawn to e6 as to, decline the bishop, just minimize it. Bite on granite. I just castle, alright? I should play probably bishop to b3, but I always play this variation. Kind of inviting him to play bishop, like pawn to b5, and then pawn to b4, knight a4, and here. But if you do this, there are a couple of things to be done. I'm not exactly sure what. I believe there were some moves. There's something like knight f5 if you take. There's like queen d5 or takes and queen d5, and then I take here. Or yeah, I don't really remember what. Maybe black is better over here. Like what's the big idea? Let's cover it because I want to give you the truth. Okay, rook e1. I was thinking about this, but what about d5? You just play. Okay, so you just develop. Oh, you have three moves. Bishop to f4 is the best. Then you have bishop to e3, and then you have c4. Let's look at it a little bit. Bishop to f4, bishop to d6, the best move. Okay, and then rook e4, very amazing. Knight e6, the only way to continue, the best way. You attack the queen, he has to take the knight. Bishop takes d6, he doesn't castle. And basically we're down the exchange. And now very important to take, okay, you can take with the either pawns, but you have a strong bishop on d6, maybe queen d5 is coming and rook e1. His king is basically stuck in the center. He tries h5 with rook h6. So now either knight c5 and queen d5 is good, and you have a massive advantage with white. So that's all you need to know. Now let's go back. That's why he doesn't play b5. So bishop to e7, kind of preparing to castle, and I play king to h1. Now I should play perhaps a4 first. Okay, but king h1, the point is to play f4 and f5 very fast. Now here's my bishop, so bishop to b3, castles, and as I've mentioned before, pawn to f4, just to bite on granite, give him a reason to, to go desperate, right? So I play f5, very principled move. Now, if he goes b4, I might even sacrifice the knight. I think there are some games like this. Maybe black survives, but it's very interesting, If you go like this, there are a lot of things you can do. For example, takes, and then, like, if he takes, there's bishop g5, and then I want to take, like, if he does something, let's say he plays a5, I want to take, and then bring the queen over, somehow try to checkmate him. Don't know if this works, but it looks good, it looks interesting. Not sure if it looks good, but it looks appealing, like a hot girl. Alright, pawn to f5, pawn to e5, knight d to e2, okay, going back, and I want to play knight g3. Now, if he goes pawn to b4, I can just play knight d5, and he doesn't have time to take on e4. I've won some games over the board too against strong players, against masters, FIDE masters, international masters with this opening. Knight g3, okay, and then I want to just play bishop to g5, take, and then play knight h5. That's the strategy. I want to clear the room for the d5 square. If he goes before, I just climb over here just like a giraffe or something, like a lion. And he takes everything. Make sure to take with a piece on d5 to keep the pressure on d6 and keep your strong piece over there. Maybe play pawn to f6, maybe play knight h5. You can see everything from up here. Every single thing. So he tries to trade. Obviously, you don't want to trade. If you trade, that you're just silly. Okay, you can also do this and be better, and then rook d1, but he may have some counterplay, here or later on. Maybe you can throw also on f6 and then knight h5 or something, but he can go like this and then hit c2, like that's his counterplay. He will hit c2, maybe knight a5, knight c4 if he gets the chance. So, you don't want to allow any counterplay. So that's why you go back, queen d3, knight d7 because he needs to stop f6. Oh, but there's also f6, like maybe you can also do this. So definitely very interesting with some ideas. But if the queens drop off, there's not that much of an attack against the king. But you open up the rook. So definitely ideas like that. Anyway, queen d3, let's not make the video too long. Bishop to e3 after he develops the knight, trying to, if he goes to c5, I may take it and then push f6. Knight to f6 to blockade everything. And then rook a c1 just to push c3. I'm preparing against rook fc8, which he doesn't do. But I could have also gone c4 just to kind of clamp on d5 and kind of invite him to take. But anyway, after c3, I also want to take over here, and then I push c4, kind of taking advantage. The queen on b7 is less active. Rook a c8, pawn to b3, stabilizing everything, pawn to h5, and at this moment, like, I have a nice grip on the position. If he gets h4 and knight to e4, he will be better. So bishop to g5, immediately stopping this idea, and I also want to take the knight and then just take on h5. So he goes back, but I just win a pawn. And queen h4, okay, he tries to trick me. Luckily I have queen e2. If I went knight g3, not too shabby either way. I'm a pawn, but the knight is much more active over here. Maybe he gets some knight g5. Who knows? Some counterplay. So I just go queen e2, knight g5 anyway, and rook c2 e1. The rook did its job, so now I remaneuver it. Pawn to d5, very aggressive. Like, hello, weren't we friends? I just take. I don't want to take like this to open up the rook, like maybe rook c3. So I just take on e5. I just want to immobilize both rooks and maybe prepare to take on e5 later on. Also, I get f6. And here, after rook d6, I can just take with a double attack. And he just did not see, but there's nothing to do anymore. It's just a double attack. You can't save both. That's just how it is. He just decided to kind of went for a cheap trick, as I've shown in the beginning of the video, but I don't fall for these kids tricks. So I just checkmate him and I win the game against a Portuguese guy, maybe 30 years old. This is how we beat a 2400. Let's make the image bigger. Don't make the video too long. I know I usually make the outro very long. I hope you enjoyed. Just wanting to mention, I will put a link in the description for a challenge, free challenge with me as a coach, 6-week challenge, free coaching. Okay, absolutely free. Check it out. Check the link in the description if you like it. And as usual, if you like the video very well, you can promote it with your friends, family, dog, cat, anybody. Girls at the club, people at your school, at your workplace, everywhere. And on the street, look at this guy, Mr. Fighter Chess. He just crushes everybody. So ain't nothing about the G Tank baby. Even approved by Snoop Dogg. So not playing around, not messing around, all about that business. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe if you wanna see more. If you really enjoyed it, engage with me. Drop a comment down below. Like the video to boost the performance and for the algorithm to pick it up. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm glad to do this. It's an honor to be here with you guys, or with you, if you're singular or plural. So that's it for now. I'll see you next time, because I post every day. So watch out, check the channel out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and see you soon. Bye bye. Bye. Always keep a smile on your face, by the way. You crushed the world.